Hello guys, it's Isabel Emberscroll and welcome back to a new Star Stable video. In today's, I am going to be talking about Galloper Thompson and his 𝐤𝐢𝐵 wild horse, their origin story. So yesterday after I did the video, I researched them and found a couple of interesting facts about them. Technically, it's 4 pages that I printed out so I could read them and have them on my screen so you guys can see them as well. And it is really interesting of what I found out about them, like how it happens, how it literally told me how he turned into Galloper Thompson, like the Galloper Thompson himself, the spooky version. And we're going to be doing the first part, training in Golden Hills Valley, where he actually is supposedly to roam around these hills. And that's for when the trail ride comes too. We're going to be able to see Galloper Thompson, and supposedly he will bring terrible things to us, bad luck. If we find him on Halloween, I might have bad luck for the rest of my life on here. But without anything else, let's get straight into this video. There is so much info, like spooky info on Galloper Thompson, and it's perfect for the spooky season right now. And we're kind of in the place of his origin story where it kind of all started, and he literally lives right up on the King's Hill Road waiting for people that's loyal to 𝓗𝓪𝓲 to come. That's part of what I'm going to be reading today, of what I found on the site. So I found it on 𝐤𝐢𝐵. Gosh, I can't say anything correctly, but it's 𝐤𝐢𝐵, and if you want to go check it out yourself, I will put that link down in the description below. So this is also kind of another spoiler video, so if you don't like spoilers and taking on about a quest, then I don't blame you. You can pause it and turn it off. I won't be mad at you because I would practically do the same if it was something that I didn't want to see, especially on movies. I don't like spoilers on movies. But I am kind of into Star Stable spoilers slash theories, so if you don't like to see what the quest could be about, then you can just pause it and turn it off and watch something else. I don't blame you. I would do the same thing. Okay, so the things are, for the first part is, I'm going to have it on the screen so you can see it too as well. So it's so interesting to read it back again, and it is so spooky because when I first read it, I was just like, wait, that really happened to Galloper Thompson. Can't believe that happened to him. It was completely shocking to me, and there's so many facts that I didn't even know that happened to Galloper Thompson. I thought I was a nerd about all the Halloween stuff here, but no, I'm not. I didn't even know some of this that even happened. I didn't even know, like, what even happens back here? Back in the old days, what even happens? So, I will bring it up and we will get started reading these exciting spooky stuff. It's Halloween and we need to read some spooky stuff. So, the first thing is, before Thompson became Galloper, he was a mere man. A man with no trace of 𝐤𝐴DIN's light inside him. Horses would avoid him at all costs. All except a black 𝐤𝐢𝐵 wild horse he brought with him from the east. The mare would allow nobody other than Thompson to handle her, and when the druids concerned about the mare's lack of 𝐤𝐴DIN and tried to take her away from him, he went after them. Okay, that's actually something that's really creepy. So think of it. If you were connected to a horse that was your only horse because no other horse liked you or they stayed away from you, think of the druids or 𝐤𝐴DIN herself, but the druids tried to take the horse away from him. But here's the one thing. He went after them. So, did he attack them? Did he try to kill them? What happens there? Did he get a little aggressive for them taking away the horse? They were only concerned about the mayor's lack of Aideen's light. I would be concerned too if that was happening to a horse, because I love all horses on here. I would be concerned too if that was what was happening, but instead he went after them and attacked. So I don't think I like this very much. It's already getting very aggressive. So the next thing that I found is later during the uprising against Jan Jarl, he was said to be the last man standing after the traitors and the great Jarl's servants met on a battlefield. It is also told that he acquired immortality sometime before the uprising and that the Jarl was jealous of him. So I did not know there was an uprising against Jan Jarl. I didn't know there was even a battle that went on in Jorvik. That's something you learn every day. Galloper Thompson took immortality. Seriously. And then Jan Jarl was jealous of him because he took immortality, and Jan Jarl wanted the immortality for him too. What is going on? I'm not liking this very much. I didn't even read that far when I was printing them out, but this is getting intense, guys. You might want to have some popcorn out to enjoy while we're reading all of this intense, spooky Halloween stuff. Wow. I didn't even know this was possible. I thought, wow. I'm just speechless right now. Immortality. He took immortality. What? Oh my gosh. So, Jan Jarl then ordered Thompson to bring him the secret of immortality. But because of an unknown cause, either Thompson's effort to get the secret to the Jarl was sabotaged, or he decided to keep it for himself. He was sentenced to death shortly after that. What? Okay, so I guess Jarl asked him to bring the immortality to him. Oh, wow. The immortality actually caused to have a sabotaged, or he wanted it for himself. That's one jealous Galloper Thompson. He wanted maybe the immortality for himself, or someone wanted it else and sabotaged him. I would not be happy if someone sabotaged me. Wow, but I still can't believe. Then he was sentenced to death shortly after that. Did they find out that he was taking immortality? That's actually really creepy to think about that. Someone research what was happening around Jorvik. Someone's just sitting there researching and they're like, oh wait. Oh no, Galloper Thompson. Who's this dude trying to take immortality? And then we're going to like, oh wait, we're going to sentence him to death. Yeah, that's just... Ooh. So, on the day of his execution, he still remained loyal to the Jarl, and when the executioner's axe came down, he stood up headless. He was carried away by his black mare, while the Jarl's men ran away panicking. Oh my gosh. This is getting intense and aggressive and everything above. What's happening here? And these are definitely spoilers of the origin stories. Oh my gosh. What? That's how we know how he lost his head. He was executed. He was sentenced to death. The executioner's axe came down, but since he took immortality, he was able to live through that? Or it didn't hit, the axe didn't hit him in the right spot. I'm just getting so, into all of this stuff. Of all those, ugh. I'm not going to even get into any farther. Because I'm just thinking myself, like, why is this happening? What even happened? I would totally get if he committed something bad in Jorvik. That I understand. But if he did nothing, that I don't understand. And then after that, he became the Jarl's enemy. So he patrolled the King's Road and killed anyone he saw as loyal to the Jarl. So to this day, sighting him is a sign of terrible things to come. Definitely, if you do the trail ride and you find Galloper Thompson, you know something's bad's going to happen. Of course, because Galloper Thompson did all of this stuff, so... I do not like this at all. This is just getting way out of hands of what everything that happens. That's just getting so way out of hand. That was just the first page I was reading. There's like 3 more pages that I printed out of this stuff. I'm not sure if I even want to go on. This is just, wow. Oh my, this is just so intense. So I am on to the next page, and I'm just gonna try to speed this up so we don't last like 30 to an hour long of reading a story like this, because if this was night at my house right now, I would so not want to be reading this. I don't like reading spooky things at night. It scares the crap out of me when it does. Okay. So these are the I think this says that this story was told by Linda, so this is definitely probably going to be a spoiler alert or teaser that this stuff could be coming out in the origin story quest. Just beware of that if you're still watching to this right now. This could have stuff in the quest. I'm not going to lie, this could have some stuff in the quest. So... Galloper Thompson was originally a warrior in the fleet of Jan Jarl, and his name back then was 𝓗𝓪𝓹𝓹𝓂 Thompson. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Some of the people said they couldn't pronounce it back on at the end of this story. I'm just gonna say Thompson. That's gonna be what his name's going to be. We'll just call him 𝓗𝓪𝓹. How's that? Mr. 𝓗𝓪𝓹 is going to be his name. So during the long and nearly catastrophic voyage to Scandinavia, I can't speak, so I don't know if I said that correctly. Scandinavia. Scandinavia. There we go. That led to the discovery of the 𝐤𝐢𝐳 pirates from the Baltic attack from the Jarl's fleet. During this epic sea battle, Thompson rose to prominence, proving himself the hero who turned out saving the tide and the Jarl's ship and return. So Jan Jarl gave him Thompson freedom and promised him riches. So I guess Jan Jarl was rich, because if he promised him freedom and riches because of his hero, he might have been rich and gave anyone who was like a hero considered and saved everyone rich. So I bet he was rich. So Jan Jarl led the construction of the first settlement at Fort Pinta. Oh, Fort Pinta. Yeah, so Thompson served Jan Jarl as a huskarl, a member of the bodyguard or household troops of a Danish or Anglo-Saxon king or noble. Basically, right-hand dude. Right-hand man, right-hand dude. Kind of like that. Like, kind of in royalty, you have like this person who's like your trustworthy, or a sidekick in like hero movies where you have like this one trustworthy person you tell everything to. That's kind of like Jan Jarl and 𝓗𝓪𝓹. So that's how you say it, a Danish or Anglo-Saxon, which is very typically weird, but it's just basically a right-handed man to the person. So I'm not going to explain that any farther. So in time, the Jarl began to see Thompson as the most trusted member of his court. The Jarl brought him everywhere as a bodyguard or advisor. Or advisor. It's confusing tongue twister. But he was a bodyguard and advisor. So think of that. Bodyguard and advisor. Most trusted man in the entire 𝐤𝐢𝐳. Like, he trusted him completely, which is pretty shocking. Because whatever happened to turn him, I don't know. When the colonists first arrived, they assumed that they had stumbled upon an unspoiled and uninhabited paradise. Soon the illusion was shattered as the Jarl's men discovered runestones carved in an unfamiliar language and other signs of human presence. Ooh, it's starting to get spooky. So, not clicking in the right direction. I would collect my XP for my horse. Okay. 𝓗𝓪𝓲 ordered Thompson to destroy the runestones as he couldn't allow these monuments to challenge his claim to the island. Thompson was nervous about destroying the mysterious stones in case he would offend some foreign gods, but his loyalty to 𝓗𝓪𝓲 led him to follow his orders anyways. Wow. 𝓗𝓪𝓲 wanted to destroy the runestones. So he sent him to destroy them. But I guess Gunnar didn't want to, so he just followed 𝓗𝓪𝓲 because he was the most trusted advisor, and he probably didn't want to lose his trust with him, which I wouldn't want to either. But if he was getting too bad, destroying like the inhabitants, the horses, I would literally have to step away and say, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. That's what I would totally say if this was happening, but it wasn't, so he just wanted to continue to follow 𝓗𝓪𝓲. Thompson was set out with a group of men to destroy runestones. After one of his men mysteriously died, the rest left out of fear. Thompson tried his best and managed to topple a stone on his own. Then he noticed he was being watched by a mysterious woman. She took an interest in Thompson and promised him a gift. He would never die by a human hands. So, tried to do that, but one of 𝓗𝓪𝓲's men died, so that's how it's heading in the direction. Thompson returned to 𝓗𝓪𝓲 to inform his men about his men's defection and a small progress he had made when he surprised to find 𝓗𝓪𝓲 speaking to new faces, a group known as the 𝐒𝐵𝐵𝐿 of 𝓗𝓐𝓏. I think it says keepers. I think it's supposed to mean keepers of 𝓗𝓐𝓏. 𝓗𝓪𝓲 made peace with the druids, and Thompson was no longer the favored companion. So 𝓗𝓪𝓲 literally ditched Gunnar because of the keepers of 𝓗𝓐𝓏 or keppers of 𝓗𝓐𝓏, how they ever had it back then. Don't know. He literally ditched Gunnar as his favorite companion. He was not his favorite companion anymore. Wow. You go back to tell him everything that has happened and you realize that you're not a favorite, not his companion, loyal companion anymore. That's actually hurtful. To realize that he liked you all this time and then someone else comes along and he likes them better than you. That's not fair at all. It's actually really sad. This is taking so long. I'm already on the 3rd page, but it's so full. So I'm gonna just, for the rest of this video, I'm gonna give like this quick recap, previous, what's all happening in this. So just short little sentences. So I guess one of the druids said that Thompson carried a mark that made him unclean in 𝓗𝓐𝓏's light. So he might have been carrying a mark that was unclean and 𝓗𝓐𝓏 didn't like it. I want to actually get to, oh, here we go. Here we get to some exciting, interesting stuff. While we head to Valedale Lake, we'll read it because there's nothing jumps in the way. So a bloody battle ensued and Thompson led the defense of Jotunheim from the rebels. Luck was not on the Jarl's side. On all of Jarl's men, except for Thompson, died. Wow. A freak victory left 𝓗𝓪𝓲 in charge, but despite his heroism, Thompson became feared and hated for surviving when so many died. Some even claimed they saw him take a blow that should have killed him. Witchcraft was suspected. Wow. Think of that. They're thinking. Because he didn't die. He was suspicious for doing all of this stuff because he didn't die. Why? Did he take the immortality and he didn't die? They never give full out information. We might learn on the quest of what happens when you see it visually, what happens, then, you know, you might be able to see it. 𝓗𝓪𝓲 demanded Thompson to explain how he remained alive after the previous battle, confessed his experience with the witch, and 𝓗𝓪𝓲, who had long been obsessed with finding immortality, became jealous and hungry for this gift. he demanded that 𝓐𝓪𝓲 seek out the witch for him. So 𝓗𝓪𝓲 is getting a little envious and jealous of Gunnar. So I wonder, who is on the evil side? Which is which? Who really did all of this on purpose? Did 𝓗𝓪𝓲 put the executioner to make Gunnar die for all of this? Is Galloper Thompson just getting revenge at 𝓗𝓗𝓲? That's what I'm thinking. Wait, it's all making sense now. I don't think 𝓗𝓗 did any of this. I think he was gifted by the witch, and it made... I just got it. We don't need to read any more. I'm sure some of you are confused of what I'm saying, but 𝓗𝓗, I believe, found someone when he was going to do the runestone, and someone was there and he was talking to them and said, don't do this and that, and he didn't, so he went back to tell them, and the keepers of 𝐤𝐴DIN came. But when he didn't die from the battle, because he told him about the witch, and then 𝓗𝓗 became very jealous of him and wanted that stuff for himself, and only for himself. He wanted to be the only one to have it. So he wanted 𝓗𝓗 to seek it out for himself. But I guess when it was sabotaged or something and 𝓗𝓗 didn't get it, he got very angry, so he was claiming that it was Gunnar's fault. So I bet he had him executed immediately for that. So he's now out as a headless man with a black steed mare, or 𝐤𝐢𝐴𝐧𝐝 wild horse, the old motto. He's out seeking revenge of anyone who worked for 𝓗𝓗, and he's killing them for his revenge because of what 𝓗𝓗 did to him, because 𝓗𝓗 executed him immediately. And that's how the story is, practically, because he was literally executed, probably by 𝓗𝓗, who probably hired an executioner to kill him with the axe, but when he didn't die, he rode off, and he's been waiting ever since for everything to... It all makes sense now. Once you read it like that, I think Gunnar was good. I think he just wants revenge, because 𝓗𝓗 probably executed him and he wanted revenge from it. That's what my theory is. Maybe he's good. Maybe he didn't take the immortality. Maybe someone stopped him, or he realized that this wasn't supposed to be like this. Maybe he realized, I don't think I should give 𝓗𝓗 the immortality. I don't think I should do it. And then he acted like someone sabotaged him. And maybe 𝓗𝓗 got very mad. And like that. So it says, 𝓐𝓪𝓲 eventually found the witch at Devil's Gap, and she told him that if he cleft a particular runestone by the stable in two, that 𝓗𝓗 would be rewarded. So the 𝓗𝓗 did as 𝓐𝓪𝓲 asked, but rather than a blessing, he brought down a curse, as the horse in the stables were driven mad, with one exception, 𝓐𝓪𝓲's black mare. The 𝓗𝓗, thinking 𝓐𝓪𝓲 had betrayed him, ordered his former husky and friend be executed by beheading. When the axe fell, 𝓐𝓪𝓲's head rolled, but his body stood up. His horse ran up the ramparts, neighed and reared, and carried 𝓐𝓪𝓲 away. Exactly what I thought! That's what I thought! If you reread that, the 𝓗𝓗 did as 𝓐𝓪𝓲 asked. The witch! It was the witch who cursed 𝓗𝓗, and he thought it was 𝓐𝓪𝓲, so he had his friends behead 𝓐𝓪𝓲, have him executed immediately. And the only horse, the black mare in the stable, that would only come to 𝓐𝓪𝓲, came up. His whole body stood up, 𝓐𝓪𝓲, and then they ran. They carried him away. That's what I was thinking. That's why he's wanting revenge from all the people he kills. Because he was executed by 𝓗𝓗 because 𝓗𝓗 thought he was being tricked. So he was very angry that he didn't get the immortality he wanted, or a gift. And that is an anger issue from... It's all technically 𝓗𝓗's fault. So Galloper Thompson isn't evil. He just wants revenge from the people who executed him. That's what I'm thinking. We don't need to read anymore. That's all of it is. But this is the last thing. So after that, Jan Jarl made amends with the Druid and committed to serving Aideen with renewed vigor. The headless Thompson disappeared, but would show up periodically in the frontiers of the north, where he would attack the Jarl's men before disappearing into night. See, sounds totally revenge. Centuries later, no one remembered the true story of Thompson, but his legend lives on as a sort of boogeyman in the Golden Hills Valley. English settlers mispronounced his name as Thompson, and the name stuck. That's how Galloper Thompson was named Galloper Thompson. He's not evil, but it just sure sounds spooky. That's how he became Galloper Thompson. He was beheaded by Jan Jarl because Jan Jarl was envious and jealous because Galloper got all the immortality for himself and he didn't get any. That is technically the end of this fun theory of what Galloper Thompson is, and it definitely sounds a lot. And if this is what the quest is, it'll be more like a reaction to see how close it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Also follow me on Instagram at Isabel Emberscroll, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!